Hey everybody, this is Sonia with Melanin Goddess Life. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to be doing a informational video. Basically, I'm going to be explaining to you how I go about predicting my engagements, my relationships. Basically, when I feel like someone is about to be proposed to or get into a brand new relationship. I feel like I have a lot of clients that come to me and I've predicted a lot of engagements. So I wanted to kind of show you just the basics of what I look for in a person's chart that indicates to me that there could be some type of new beginning coming on for this person. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I got a phone call about 3 days ago from a client, and she was letting me know that she had gotten engaged. So she got engaged, I believe, on Tuesday. And I thought this is a great time for me to pull up someone's chart that just recently got engaged, and I could take a look and explain to you how the engagement came about. So we're going to do this really, really quickly. So in front of you, we have the person's chart. So we have her birth chart on the inner wheel, and on the outer wheel is her transit chart. So the transit chart tells me where the planets are currently in real time in her chart. So this is going to indicate to me what is going on with her astrologically. So of course, the astrological wheel is broken down into 12 separate houses. We call them houses in astrology, and they represent 12 different areas of our life. So they can represent anything from your physical body to your work environment to your health, your children, your family. Just there. Each house has their individual meaning in astrology. So when I am doing a love prediction or I'm doing a love reading, there's certain houses I'm going to be focused on with regards to love. Now, those houses are for me as an astrologer. Some astrologers do this differently, but for me, I look at the first house, which is the house of our physical body, but it's also the house of our personal goals and things that we're bringing into our life on a personal level or on a meaningful level. The next house that I look at is the fourth house. The fourth house is about family, and it encompasses the family that we're born into, but also the family that we create for ourselves. The next house that I look at is going to be the fifth house. The fifth house is the dating house. This is the romance house. Now, this is not necessarily the long-term relationship house, but this is like when you start dating someone, casual dating, boyfriend and girlfriend type things, getting to know someone. So the fifth house is important to me as well. When it really starts to get serious for me is the seventh house. Now, the seventh house is the house of one-on-one relationships. But when we look at the seventh house, we're looking at all types of relationships. So that could be friends, family, business, people that we do services with. But this is also considered the marriage house in astrology. So we're looking at the house that governs who we're going to marry or who we're going to be in a long-term committed relationship with. The next house that I look at is the eighth house, kind of like as just a reinforcement house. I look at the eighth house because that's where we make intimate connections as well. So I don't put too much emphasis on the eighth house, but I kind of like look at it after I've looked at all the other houses. The next important house for me is the 10th house. The 10th house is at the top of your chart, which means it's the most visible, but it's considered the career house, but also it is considered the house of our titles. So when I look at it from a romantic standpoint, we're looking at title changes. So for example, you could be in a relationship and you're going from holding the title of girlfriend, and then you get proposed to. Now you have the title of fiance, and then you could go on to the title of wife. So this is where our titles change, and this is where society as a whole identifies us and sees us as when we get to the 10th house. And the last house that I use as somewhat of a reinforcement house, kind of somewhat like the eighth house, is the 11th house. And the 11th house is typically the house of our friends and associates and groups, but it is also the house that governs our long-term hopes, dreams, and wishes. And for the most part, most people do have a hope or a dream of a wish or of getting married, or at best getting into a committed relationships. So those are the houses that I primarily look at. So when we are looking at someone's actual chart that just got engaged a few days ago, I have highlighted the houses that are actually in, have some type of activity going on for this person. So it spells out why this engagement came about during this time. So first things first, this person is 45 years old. So when we do the theme of your year, which I do with all of my clients, this is the time where we gauge each year a theme changes in our life depending on our age. And when we look at the age of 45, the theme of that year is actually 10th house. So we are back